In the shadow of California's San Bernardino Mountains, a cabin erupted in flames in 2013. It was a climactic end to a manhunt that gripped the nation. Christopher Dorner, a former LAPD officer, was trapped inside among crackling gunfire and smoke, his fate sealed amid the inferno. He had declared war on the institution he once swore to serve, vowing vengeance against those he believed wronged him. Already 4 lives were claimed, and California was engulfed in fear and tension. Residents stayed vigilant, their communities locked in a grip of uncertainty. Dorner, once a decorated Navy veteran, had spiraled into a vigilante killer, condemning the corruption he perceived within the LAPD. His manifesto, a chilling 11,000-word document, emerged online, warning the department of a sleeping giant they had unknowingly awakened. It detailed his grievances, perceived injustices, and a declaration of retribution. The chaos began on February 3, 2013, with a double homicide in Irvine, California. Monica Kwan, daughter of a former police captain who had represented Dorner during departmental hearings, and her fiancé, Keith Lawrence, sat unsuspecting of danger in a parked Kia Optima. A shadowy figure approached. A spate of gunshots echoed in the garage's silence. Investigators found neither robbery nor personal vendetta in their deaths, just pristine, calculated brutality, marking the stark onset of Dorner's revenge against the LAPD. As details of Dorner's past unfolded, the narrative painted a picture of racial bullying, military discipline, and dashed law enforcement dreams. His training officer had been accused of abuse, inciting an internal investigation that ultimately rejected his claims. The LAPD board fired Dorner in 2008, a crushing blow that obliterated his law enforcement aspirations and sowed the seeds of his vendetta. His manifesto read more than a revenge note. It interlinked personal grievances with demands for significant police reform, highlighting issues of systemic injustice. His military training rendered his skills deadly, his target list long, including officers' families and high-ranking officials. The tragedy in Irvine was merely the opening salvo in Dorner's declaration of war, a prelude to the nationwide manhunt that sprawled across California. Surveillance footage showed Dorner shedding military gear, a transformation underscored by his abandoned, scorched truck discovered near Big Bear Lake. Authorities mobilized over 1,000 officers, launching aerial drones and issuing hefty rewards for any information leading to his capture. Communities on edge saw locals arming themselves for safety, while SWAT teams combed through snow-laden cabins in the vicinity, challenging blizzard conditions in their pursuit. On February 7th, Dorner ambushed Riverside officers, escalating his campaign of terror against law enforcement. His attacks were marked by calculated precision, symbolic of his fight against LAPD's perceived corruption. Missteps and mistaken identities during the hunt brought additional scrutiny to police tactics, exposing fraught nerves and procedural oversights within the ranks. The captivity of cabin owners added a layer of urgency to the manhunt, culminating in the tense confrontation at Glass Road, San Bernardino Mountains. Dorner's profile became emblematic of a trained soldier turned against a faltering justice system, his vendetta perceived as both personal and systemic. The final standoff ensued with a cabin ablaze, Dorner's scorched refuge amid firefight chaos. His life was extinguished in the same manner with which he waged his campaign, mired in violence and engulfed by flames. In the aftermath of the manhunt, calls for reforms, investigations, and reverberating unanswered questions seeped into the legacy of the LAPD. Communities grappled with complex emotions surrounding Dorner's motives and the systemic institutional evaluations that followed. Ultimately, Dorner's tale pierces deeper issues of accountability and reform within policing institutions, leaving an indelible mark on law enforcement and public consciousness alike. As policies and practices face scrutiny, the ripple effects of his actions continued to pose questions about justice, authority, and the consequences of a system perceived as flawed.